South African history. Julius Malema, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, was arrested early this morning by order of Senzo Mchunu. The charges are grave: attempted murder and cruel treatment of his spouse. Eyewitnesses report that police vehicles surrounded Malema's Johannesburg residence before dawn. The operation was executed with high security, leaving neighbors in disbelief. "I've never seen anything like this," said one onlooker. "We all know him as a fiery politician, but to see him escorted by police, it was surreal." Sources close to the investigation allege that Malema's wife had been subjected to sustained physical and emotional abuse, which reportedly escalated to a point that endangered her life. Investigators claim that evidence collected over weeks, including medical records and witness statements, indicated a clear pattern of dangerous behavior, prompting the urgent intervention by the Minister of Police. It is understood that attempts were made to intervene privately before matters reached this stage, but the threats to her safety became too serious to ignore. The decision to arrest Malema has been framed as a strong message from the government: no individual, no matter their political influence, is above the law. Across the country, South Africans have expressed a mixture of shock, disbelief, and cautious optimism. Social media platforms erupted with discussions, trending hashtags, and calls for justice. Many citizens praised Minister Senzo Mchunu for acting decisively to protect victims of abuse, with posts stating, "Finally, accountability reaches the highest levels." Supporters of Malema were initially stunned, with some questioning whether the charges were politically motivated. However, many voices across political lines have emphasized that domestic abuse cannot be excused, regardless of status. Advocacy groups for women's rights hailed the arrest as a watershed moment, saying it underscores the government's commitment to protecting the vulnerable. Malema's arrest is expected to have major repercussions within the EFF, potentially destabilizing its leadership structure. Analysts note that while the party has weathered controversies in the past, this situation is unprecedented in its severity. Some political commentators predict a period of internal upheaval, while others highlight the broader message of accountability. Political influence does not shield one from the law. This event also casts a spotlight on Minister Senzo Mchunu, who has faced criticism in the past for delayed action in other high-profile cases. Today, however, his decisive move has earned widespread praise. "This is a defining moment for police leadership in South Africa," said one political analyst. Malema is currently in custody, awaiting formal charges and a court appearance. Legal experts predict that the trial will be highly complex and heavily scrutinized, given the intersection of high-profile politics, criminal allegations, and media attention. Security measures for the proceedings are expected to be unprecedented, as the public and press closely monitor every development. If convicted, the case would set a historic precedent in South Africa, sending a clear message about the consequences of domestic abuse and violent behavior, even among the country's most powerful politicians. In communities across South Africa, people are expressing a sense of hope and support for justice. Citizens emphasize that while political figures often wield influence, the protection of human life and dignity remains paramount. Civil society organizations have called for continued vigilance to ensure that the legal process is transparent, fair, and unimpeded by political pressure. As the country watches this story unfold, one message resonates above all: abuse and violence against women will no longer be tolerated, and justice will prevail, regardless of political clout.